Hey guys, and welcome to your second Java tutorial from tech.us. I'm Henry, and I'm going to be showing you how to do variables today. So, first of all, I just wanted to show you a way to fix the console when you're opening these Java programs that we made. You know, this is the Hello World. I haven't changed it from last time. Hello World, see from last time. So, if you go up here and select, when you're opening the application, for your Hello World, you'll see an options pane up here. You want to uncheck, you want to check clear screen at method call, because if it's not checked, then you'll see what happens every time you run it. You get another Hello World on top of each other, and you don't want that. You want to just see what your program's doing, because it sort of gets things to be a little messy. So you want to open that up, click options, and then clear screen at method call. So that'll get rid of all those repetitions, which gets really annoying. So we're going to be doing variables today, so just open the my first class file and get rid of the hello world. So the first kind of variable that I'm going to be telling you guys about is the integer. Now, if you think back to math class, an integer is any number which can be expressed as just whole numbers like 6 or 9, 89, or -3 or 2 or 1 or 2. It can't hold things like 6.5. That would be incorrect. That's not an integer, but it does hold things like 0 or a million or a million, million, million. I don't know what that number is. Okay. Anyway, let's make an int x, or my integer, so it's more clear. So you always put a semicolon after your line. So if you just say like int my integer, int my second integer, that's going to give an error because you need to have a semicolon at the end of your line. Just always remember to put a semicolon there. So let's just print this out to the system. So system.out.println my integer is system.out.println my integer. And first we have to assign a value to my integer. You can't just print stuff, because if you try to compile it right now, you'll see at the bottom it says variable my integer might not have been initialized. So that's an error that we get because we haven't said that my integer equals something. Just as in math, if you say x equals 4 and then x plus 6 equals question mark, you can only solve for what this equals once you know what x is. So if you get rid of this line, which is sort of like what we have right now, you don't know what that's going to be because you don't have any value for x. So just as you have to do it there, you have to say my integer equals 10, and that's called initializing the variable. So we've set the value 10 to my integer. So whenever the program sees my integer, it'll just replace 10 for it. So, as you can see, this program is going to show my integer is 10. Perfect. So let's open it back up. Now, you may have wondered why, or you probably wouldn't have wondered, but I'll just explain it to you, why there's a space after my integer is, and how can you get rid of that space? What if you wanted to say my integer is colon space 10, if you want it all to be on the same line? So I'll show you how to do that right now. So whenever you want to display multiple things in one line in Java, the easiest way to do it, there are other ways, but this is the easiest way. You say my integer is, and then inside of the same parentheses, you say plus, and the space doesn't matter, you can go like that, but I like to have a space. My integer is plus my integer. Actually, let's do, and because it's not going to put a space there for you by itself, so if we run this, you're going to see that it looks really weird because there's no space after the colon. See, it just, my integer is 10. There's no colon yet. So we want to make it look nice, so you just open this up, my integer is plus. So you can have as many plus signs in there as you want. And obviously if you wanted to, you could just put this inside of this quotation mark. So you could say like my integer is colon space in here. But just for the sake of showing you guys how to use print line effectively with these pluses, I'll just do that. So as you can see, this looks a lot nicer. Good. Okay, so next I'm going to show you different kinds of variables. So let's say double, my double. So what a double does in Java is it holds not only integer values like 1 and 4 and 5, it also holds values like 5.8 and 4.9, stuff like that. So if you wanted to store the value, let's say you wanted to write down on your website that you knew that pi was, and you knew that pi was 3.14 or something. So I'm just going to show you that I actually do know pi to a few decimal points, which is sort of nerdy, but I'll admit it. So 3.14159265 I believe. You probably can prove me wrong on this. Anyway, so let's say that my double equals this, because you're on your website and you really want to brag that you know pi. So you're setting pi to a double because you can't set that to an integer, because an integer can only hold like whole numbers. So next, let's say system.out.print my double is plus my double. So as you may have noticed, I said print here and not println. The main difference is that after println, Java automatically brings the cursor to the next line in printing stuff. So if you say system.out.print my double is, and then say plus this, I'll show what that is later, but basically that brings the cursor to the next line. So if you use that, then it's effectively the same thing as this function. What this is doing is just bringing the cursor to the next line, and the system.out.println does that automatically. So I'll show you what this does right now. So system.out.print, I'll do a print line for this one. Actually, it doesn't matter. This is on the same line after double. And I'll do one after here so you can see that it does go to a new line. So system.out.print. And notice I did not do println because it wouldn't really... Actually, I'll do println. You'll see. This is after the integer line. So what the system's going to do is it's going to print this line. My integer is space 10, right? And then it's going to go to the new line because it's println. So on the next line, it's going to say this is after the integer line, and then it has a println, so it's going to go to the next line. And on that next line, it's going to say my double is my double, and instead of my double, it's going to look to the double variable my double and put this value for pi in. And then because it's not a print line, it's going to stay on the same line and say this is on the same line after double. So I'll just show you what that looks like right now. My integer is 10, went to a new line. This is after the integer line, went to another new line, because that was a println. And then this, my double is going for 1.25, was only a print function, not a print line function. So it did not go to a new line. And the same with this. That was a print function. So if we typed in something else, it would stay on this line and not go to the next line. So I'm running out of time, but I'll show you more variables in the next tutorial along with some other features of BlueJ, so stay tuned. Thanks.